Jean-Thierry must have spent hundreds of hours with me on tasks, and we're really shaken. My whole organization has talked about it. There's been lots of well wishes for JT and his family coming from my office, and you know, sadly, Zoltan will have to talk realistically about what on earth we're going to do without him next year. But I just obviously I don't want this to be about me much longer, but I just wanted to thank you for inviting me just to be here. And you know, I'm always moved by how wonderful this community is and how talented you guys are. And you know, I was inspired by JT in the same way I'm inspired by you guys quite a bit. But yeah, he was amazing. I don't think he slept enough. That might have been a problem. If I was worried. He seemed to be working all night all the time, and but just so mellow and so calm and so able to think through so many complex issues, and really, really brilliant. I have never met I've been doing programming or working with programmers for 30 years, and he is the best, best I met, and I will miss him dearly. So thank you. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just glad that you guys decided to come together and reflect a little.
Yeah, so we have this meeting every week, and but I see today more people have joined, probably because of Zoltan, who gathered everyone saying, please join in memory of Jean-Thierry. But thank you, Toby, for these words. Anyone wants to say anything? So for those who don't know, because the usual suspects are here today, Jean-Thierry passed away on December 25th. And this is the first meeting since then. So if you want to say something, just please say some words. Please do so. This meeting will probably be mostly about him. Not sure we'll talk about anything else. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not really over it yet. It was I couldn't really still believe that Jean-Thierry is not with us, and I checked back on his GitHub profile, and it was a really cruel thing there, because I've seen some activity on the 29th, and that was actually Mike merging one of his pull requests. So Jean-Thierry is still working with us even today because he has open pull requests. So we'll still see his commits in the repository.
Committing to repository, and whatever, his code will be running for some time still.
For years over here, and I'll be constantly reminded of him as I stare at his code. He must have left thousands and thousands of lines, and which I will be trying to decipher. And I'll be so sad that he won't be there to help me. But yeah, he did some pretty unique things, I think, with our Folkways website and indexing and search, and he just kept building, kept coming up with cool, clever ideas.
Like you mentioned, to be, yeah, Jean-Thierry was working during the day for his job. Like he would wake up late, but go work during the day for his day job, and then come back and just work on Orchard all night long. Nobody knows when he would sleep. And yeah, so for me, it was like, yeah, working all night, smoking cigarettes, taking care of the dog, and that was what I knew from Jean-Thierry, like all these nights he would spend. Like for me, it would be the day, but for him, it would be the night when he would talk with us. Or yeah, kind of crazy.
Toby, actually, so we had an email exchange on the 20th or something like that with Toby, And Toby asked about the T-shirt size of Jean Thierry for some Christmas present. And Toby, I believe you have written something along the lines of he stays up very late. He smokes a lot of cigarettes, so you are worried for him a little bit. Yeah, so that's very well warranted.
I knew, it's really weird. I got a note back from him that he got that gift, and that note must have been the night before he passed away. Like, I got a note on the 23rd or very, very, very soon, anyway, but he got the gift. So we're all happy he got the gift. And don't worry, it wasn't laced with arsenic or poison. Yeah, sucks.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, but you have the bad microphone.
I'm not sure because my headset keeps switching. So for you that don't know, actually most of that. So when I started contributing to Orchard Core, it was
Mike,
obviously minor stuff. But a lot of these pull requests I noticed unless someone actually comes in.
Sorry, Mike. I'm
They go and
perhaps
do these PLRs. Can you guys still hear me?
we can hear you, but
Don't
at least
answer that. Yeah, if you don't answer,
Not very well.
I can't understand anything you say, actually. Probably Mike is switching microphones.
believe so.
In the meantime, just something I pasted in the chat, a link to the idea as well. So yeah, I think probably we could have something like community award. That's something I've been kind of thinking about for a very long time. Yeah, something like this. If you are an old-timer here, you may remember that many years ago, on one of the harvests, I believe it was the Seattle one, we had a little contest where people could I don't know what exactly were the circumstances, but you had to create some kind of orchard app, and there was a jury that decided who was the winner. Now, a little bit on that vein, but updated and to honor community activities, I think we could have something like a community award in honor of Jean Thierry. So this would be. I was thinking about having a community vote and nominations by the community, and then voting secretly about the nominees for those people who did the most for the community. And most possibly that would be coding, but not necessarily. So if we'll have a community manager, then that would be eligible as well, whatever you did for the community. And every year we would vote. And foremost, this would be a recognition. Perhaps people can throw in some perks. And all of this would be kind of to keep the memory of Jean Thierry alive and have or recognize people who are similarly very important to the community before before it's too late.
I'm waiting for Mike.
When
So
did Jean Thierry join the community?
I found a commit in 2013 December, 10 years ago. But I'm not sure because I don't see any more activity until concretely 2 years after. And the first two commits are shared with Sipke. So it could be a bug in GitHub, but if the commit is assigned to both of them, it must be that his email is somehow related. But it feels weird that there was no activity from Jean-Thierry for 2 years, but one commit in 2013 and then lots of commits. From a project, I don't even know what it is, but Lombic/Laser Portrait. I don't know if you know what it is. I don't remember anything about that, but it was these two repository, Portrait CMS and Laser Lombic Laser.
That's a fork of a fork of Orchard one, I believe. The real commits were into Orchard CMS. So Jean-Thierry definitely was there with Orchard one.
So you can see one commit there, Laser Orchard. So and then nothing 2014, but join GitHub. You see, that's why I think it's weird that it joined GitHub in 2014, but there is a commit with his name and Sipke there. So maybe it's just a glitch. And slowly contributed to Orchard.
Remember, we moved Orchard from Codeplex to GitHub, so the repository history is
maybe that's what, Dracula, And then growing contributions year over year. I do 2020. Even in 2022, every day of the week, Sunday to Monday. 2023. And the last one pushed from Mike. Last real commit from December 22nd. Yeah, 10 years. So we lost Mike, sure.
I remember I was lucky to work with Sipke before Jean-Thierry, and I have to say, when Zoltan introduced Jean-Thierry to me, he had a pretty bad internet connection, and his English is his French and his English was a little rough, and he was breaking up a lot, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be really hard to work with Jean-Thierry. And then he got a better internet connection, and I may have helped him with his English. Maybe, I don't know. He became an amazing communicator and just such a good ally. And I think he was kind to a lot of you guys, right? I got the sense that he was doing extra for us.
He was doing extra for all the time for everyone.
Yeah. Like, I think he really cared about my project, and I felt that.
And for him, it was always an opportunity to learn. So first to feel appreciated, to give, and then to learn. Like, he would always be happy to be proven wrong or to learn something or saying thank you. I was so grateful for learning things. So like feeling useful and growing with the project he was working on. So I think that was, and it was a passion, right? So we could feel it. Like he would do it he would pay. I'm sure he would have paid for working on what he was doing. So he gave everything to the project and the project he was working on. I don't know how he was behaving with his day-to-day job. I hope the same way. That would be great. But yeah, I always tackling the hard problems, like all the things we don't want to do in Orchard. I know he would do that, like graciously and happily would try to learn and to be the best at his job at the the niche of the work you work on. Like I would often say, like, yeah, I don't understand what the code is doing, like, but we trust Jean-Thierry. If he does this, he has reasons and he knows what he's doing. So let's merge a PR. It must be better for the project. Nope, still the bad microphone, Mike. So sorry.
When we finally launched Orchard Core, because our site had been in 1X for many, many years, and we have what, 75,000 content items, all of which has lots of relational fields, like hundreds of fields. It's a nightmare to have to program around our star project. I brought him in to present, and that was good. I think he really appreciated that. I didn't take credit for his work, I'm happy to tell you. And so that's why my whole office is sad that he's gone, because he was one of us. As are you guys. I'm pretty generous about the community. I've educated my whole office about the strength of the Orchard community and how lucky we are to get to benefit from all the brilliant work you all do.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Is this any better?
much better. Thank you, Mike.
Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. My microphone is having issues. Probably a user error, but so what I was trying to tell you guys, I mean, this is honestly like the saddest news I've heard in a really long time about Jean-Thierry when I seen that email coming out. So when I started contributing to Orchard Core, you know, I put these PRs, and as you guys know, some of these PRs just sit there for a while because we don't have a lot of, you know, people that can go and review and look at your code line by line and actually approve or merge and so on and so forth. And sometimes it's really, you know, discouraging because you're trying to do something and you don't hear back. So you're like, okay, no one cares, I'm gonna move on. What actually helped me and motivated me was Jean-Thierry. Every PR I put in, he would go in and he would read line by line, and he would give you, you know, a paragraph why this line can be improved or why this line should be, you know, changed. Whether it's because he, you know, you missed a period in the comment, I mean, that just tells you, you know, how detailed the guy was. You know, if you missed a comment or a period in the comma, he will let you know about it. You know, if there's a way to improve that code, he will give you a paragraph why you should. He doesn't just say, go ahead and change it. He will actually explain because he's trying to share his knowledge as much as he can. And, you know, honestly, like the feedback you get from him, it just motivates you to want to do more. And that's exactly what happened with me. And, you know, I started, you know, contributing to Orchard Core, a year and a half ago. And all my contribution, you know, were for, you know, because of the motivation and because the comments. If something I wasn't sure of, all I had to do at Jean-Thierry, and boom, here comes a paragraph, here comes a detailed answer, and all the, you know, and now I feel I am so knowledgeable in Orchard Core, all thanks to him. I mean, all my contribution is thanks to him. I mean, honestly, I can't tell you guys how sad I am and how thankful I am for working with him. You know, I don't really have much to say, but you know, the time that I worked with him was really great, you know.
Yeah, he didn't have much time for himself, but he always had time to help everyone. So yeah, you would just ask him, ping him on an issue you don't understand. They would like, okay, I will look at that tonight. Oh, it's already too late for me. Like it's the day, it's 9 a.m. It's too late. So I'll look at it tonight after work. Like yeah, was always like it.
Yeah, that's just for info. The comment starting with just for info. I can attest to these.
But honestly, if I would see a comment from his starting with just for info, I would always skip because he was too detailed for me. He would talk too much. He would explain too many things. I'm like, no, go to the point. You are getting out of the discussion. And sometimes during these meetings, or he would start talking about something and go so deep in the details or during the demonstration. I'm like, no, just stop. That's too much detail. People don't care about it. Like, you're passionate and you want to explain everything, but doesn't matter. That it won't improve anything for us. So just tell us what you did. Show us the thing. It's beautiful. Don't go in. You don't have to find excuses for no. Show us the thing. Don't talk too much. And yeah, just for info. I'm sure we could find hundreds of just for info in the issue. And maybe it will work. Well, for CP, this one was one or two shows. Or I'm sad. Yeah, I'm sure there are so many of them. I find some, but yeah, in these comments, it's there.
Under that pull request that Antoine linked, there are
Okay.
a couple of these
Just for
already.
info. Yeah, when he's trying
Yeah.
to explain something, that's fine as well. Did we merge this here? We did, just for info. Yeah. And one here. One of the good examples also about I was working like relentlessly to understand things and to find a solution was the last issue we created Zoltan about the perf of Azure services. And he will try again and again, and maybe he was not involved in this thing, but he wanted to understand, he wanted to help them. Yeah. For him, it would be an interesting thing to solve. He had nothing to gain from that, but he just wanted to learn and to be useful. So thanks, Mike, for filing the issues and the documentation, the page in the doc. This issue where people can comment. We are the same for Piotr, and maybe we should have a page also for Piotr here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you link to the issue, we do the same thing for Piotr because we had an issue also for Piotr.
I feel the system he set up for us on search was really brilliant. I wish there was some way I could have that JT's search become part of Orchard Core. It was done as a client work, right? But man, watching him can think through it, and I could tell he was excited that he may have invented something, or felt like he did. A really powerful searching capability.
Maybe a demo would be nice.
He's really sad to demo it without him. But I'm just
Demo
thinking
it
of some
for
of the
him.
highlights. Yeah, demo it for him. I can't do it on the spot right now, but I would like to. I can kind of compile, and I'll post somewhere what I think were highlights for him on our project. All of the stuff you're seeing in his contributions to the core, of course, you know about. But I guess I know the things that he did for us, which I think he loved. He talked about, and his other career does a lot of automation, so he was happy to help us automate things. Anyway, just a thought. I'm also reading like you guys. I'm reading all of our threaded conversations, and there's so much evidence of his patience and thinking through things and tolerating change requests and stuff. Hey, and patience with my kids running around in the background while we were trying to work. They miss him too, right, Max? He does. Sorry for the distractions, but yeah,
No
no,
worries.
he was kind to my kids and stuff because I share my office with my kids. It's kind of a drag. Anyway.
Did you just say?
There was actually a demo of the new Folkways website at one of our previous meetings. Toby, you took part, our developer Gabor, but not Gabor Domonkos here, but Gabor Por demoed it mainly, I think, and Jean Thierry as well. I just linked it into the chat.
Right, because of our obsession with keeping data accessible in SQL, we built out our indexes in very explicit ways. So we have content indexes and then the application indexes. We have complex indexes of which he then turned around and cranked out a powerful set of searching and browsing capabilities that work phenomenal. And you know, faceted search with 75,000 content items and filterable and all this great stuff. And it was just like an extension. He just was able to build it as an extension on the application, which for us was just amazing because we had been depending on an outside searching, crawling, like the Lucene type thing. And so it was, that was really cool because it made search a component of Orchard Core. And yeah, again, I think maybe Lombec, you should monitor, like create a product out of it or something. But I'll shut up about that. Sorry, I'm just thinking of my my JT highlight. That was one of my JT highlights.
So imagine all the impact he had on the rest of the product. If it was all the impact he had for you, and I believe it was not his main time-consuming task.
Right. And I don't want to talk too much as a result.
Oh no, I mean, no, that's great because I mean that just amplifies his impact on everything, right? Because like it was with your work, it was like a visibility of like an accomplishment of what he could do and how he would know the product. With the open source thing, it would be like it almost goes unseen because yes, people use that, but they don't realize it's from Jean Thierry, right? Companies like yours or Lombec will realize because yes, without that they could not work. Like they are dependent on these things. But everyone else will be like, oh, Orchard is just it's a massive product. It's a product, right? You don't see all the small details of who did what and how it works. And some of us do, like some of you do, but most of the users, they don't realize all these things that have to be done day after day and all these technical things that have to be solved, find solutions and like, yeah, fix stuff or redo stuff or realize you made mistakes and do it differently or reacting to changes in ASP.NET, all these things that you would do all the time, or all the components you would own just because he was the only one to be able to work on that, to have the patience to work on that, like background tasks, like the scope things, the result rendering, all these things that are like without that there would be nothing. And he would just do it by himself. And when you do the background jobs, like I mean it's all the scope things, it has to work, but there is no gain into that. It's just helping everyone, but he's not getting paid for that, or there is no retribution for him, or even visibility. In terms of visibility, people don't realize that it's there and it's doing all these things and it's super complex to maintain. So at least he had you and Lombec to be able to value his work. Like someone cares about what he's doing, you know? Not value in terms of, no, he's getting paid for that. I'm not sure he cared much about that, but more about, like feeling useful. That's the retribution. Like someone depends on what he's doing and appreciates what he's doing.
That's where you can sense that goodness, because it's also helping a community, right? I think he felt like he needed to help this community. And
Yeah. It could work. It could have worked just for money and stopped when there was nobody behind, right? But he didn't care. No, I'm sure he was fighting to find the time to work for money, just to please you, like to help you. Like, yes, there is contract, but I mean, it cared more about helping people than helping himself. Pretty sure. Like
So that's probably
none of us has touched as many components as Jean-Thierry. I'm just clicking page by page and seeing keywords about things he worked on. I mean, who has touched all these things, even once? He knew everything about everything. He was contributing to other repos like SQL and others. So Orchard Core and also the old Orchard, like we've seen comments from people from Orchard 1 on the thread that might create the issues.
And by the way, Jean-Thierry was a big part on why Orchard Core is among the most active .NET open source projects. Gabor linked a tweet about that, but I'm also linking in the chat now.
I miss it, okay.
Yeah, so last year, Orchard Core had the most pull requests. Now it's Avalonia by just 4 PRs. So that's very close.
Pull requests are fine. These stats, you could discuss them because when you don't squash commits, you might have more commits. You see, like when you have 3 times more commits than you have pull requests, this is not how we work. Every commit for us mostly is a pull request, and we squash them. So these are completely unrealistic. And maybe in a way that maybe Elsa workflow, for instance, is just getting 1 commit per merge and is maybe the most active project in this case. Or maybe we have pull requests here, we have lots of pull requests, but we know we have lots of pull requests for version updates. So maybe this is also a bad number because of that. You know? So it's hard to understand these things. It's a trend, so it shows there is some value, there is some reality there. There is some truth behind these numbers, but it's not you can't say it's number 2 or it's number 1. Yeah, that's very active projects in terms of pull requests and commits. Yeah, for sure, because of him. Like and you can see it on the stats here. So on the bottom on this page, if I can find it, so I have something that goes over my screen. 60 contributors all time, but it's again, this one is just a number of commits. But when Jean-Thierry does a commit, right, it maybe spans like, it's not like maybe I do a comment or I do a change in some code. Antoine has the most commits also probably because of the component updates. Jean-Thierry, when he's got a commit, it's like 1,000 files are touched. So that's the same thing. So these numbers, they put him at the top, but they're not even correct in the way it should be even higher at the top, because it's just 1 commit. It doesn't say, oh, this is 50 files, or this is the complexity of the commit, or all the things you have to try to get it done. Even the number of line changes, I'm sure is completely wrong, because maybe I did a change that was some refactoring and, you know, like, or I don't know. And maybe his stuff is just added value, right? So it doesn't even reflect the impact it actually had, which is much bigger than third, I'd say. Or yeah, or here. Should we end the meeting here? We'll resume our usual schedule next week and Thursday for triage. For Zoltan, do you want to add something? I don't know. I didn't hear anything, I think.
No, I just wanted to agree.
So we meet again next week and Thursday for the triage. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Toby, for joining us.
Sebastian,
Yeah,
check
thank
your
you for-
Skype, please.
Sorry, Mike.
Check your Skype if you have a minute, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mike, for the work you did for Chantieri. And thank you, Lombic, for your support also. Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
everyone. Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye, man.